Hello again, everybody. It's Jacob from Wilman Air here in Jacksonville, Florida. Today we're going to do a little bit of education on filters. Just to begin with, we're going to go over the three main types of filters, and we'll talk about why they're good, why they're bad, and how all of them eventually get ugly. Okay, let's start. First, let's talk about why we use air filters. It's not to give you better breathing indoor air quality. The whole reason of air filters is actually to protect this evaporator coil, right? Refrigerant runs through it, boils off, absorbs heat, you get cold air out the other end. Changing your filter is one of the key things every homeowner should know how to do and know why to do it and when to do it. Protecting that coil is important because as it gets dirty or clogged, okay, it can lead one to microbial growth, which is indoor air quality, but two, and most importantly, we're talking about efficiency. If we start blocking the surface area of that coil with small debris built up over time, or even large debris, we are going to inhibit that heat transfer. It's going to decrease your cooling efficiency, it's going to decrease your cooling capacity, and it can also end up hurting your system. So the filter is there to protect the coil, not your lungs. So, whenever you want to check your filter, I recommend every 30 days, okay? So, great way to remember that if you're renting, when you pay your rent, check your filter because it'll keep your rent bill down. If you own your home, when you pay your power bill, your JEA bill, go ahead and check and or change your filter. It's just like changing your oil in the car in the sense that, they give you those recommendations every 3,000 miles or 3 months. Well, they say that because if you are driving the ever-living love out of your car, you're gonna need a oil change a lot sooner than 3 months. Same thing with your air filter. The more usage and runtime hours we put on this thing, the sooner we will need to change it, and the more frequently we will need to change it. This is your standard 1-inch filter. This is actually basically what we would recommend for a 1-inch filter. We definitely want to see pleats. Pleats are those up and down ridges. Okay, what that does is it gives us a greater surface area. If I were to stretch this out like an accordion, we would have much more surface area than just what you're seeing right here, this 20 by 25. Be sure your unit is off when you check your air filter. If it looks like it is discolored, okay, or you can obviously see debris, then you're gonna wanna change it. No one's gonna yell at you for changing your filter too much. It does cost money, but you're protecting a larger investment. One way to see if it's time to change, kind of pick up that border. I don't know if you can see, but there's a slight discoloration. This filter is actually really good, but you can see the original white color, okay? And as this gets drastically, in comparison, darker, you'll start to realize when it's dirty, all right? Remember, your airflow is up on these systems, so you wanna look for the airflow arrow, and you want that to be pointing up. Dead giveaway is this mesh, wire mesh that actually prevents when the filter gets so impacted it won't allow air to pass through it. This thing will actually parachute up and it'll start to raise up because it's acting like a parachute. Well, that wire mesh prevents it from being sucked straight up into the coil. The back, no restriction, nothing on there, just your basic pleats. So let's go ahead and put it back in. Make sure it's closed up tight and you're good to go. That's a 1-inch filter. Let's move on to something a little bit better, a 5-inch filter. A little something else most people don't recognize. Your standard 1-inch filter with pleats is gonna be good. It's gonna be good enough. In fact, sufficient. If you start buying those 99-cent filters that you can see through, literally hold them up and you can see images through it, you're gonna be seeing us a lot sooner than you want to. Those allow way too much large debris to get onto your coil and will only result in a higher service charge later. Also, you don't wanna go too restrictive. Do not get those carbon-based with the black specs, HEPA filters with 1 million pleats in them. Those things are so restrictive, you're going to restrict airflow. It basically simulates a dirty filter right from the moment you put it in. You'll be seeing us a lot sooner than you want to. Okay, next on our list of great air filter mysteries, the 4 to 5-inch media filter. These are probably our best option. These are what we install in the majority of our jobs. They only need to be replaced once every 6 months to a year. These things are giant vacuum cleaners, right? So we got to get rid of that debris. These 5-inch filters are the best thing, okay? So again, let's make sure our system is off, and we're gonna go ahead and check this filter. This one has a simple door. The ones we install have 2 tabs that turn at 90-degree angles. The door pops right off. These are relatively easier to get out too, believe it or not. I use my knife, but on ours there's actually a little space and tabs on here. Either way, you just need to get it out, okay? So again, you can see here, this is a 20 by 25 by 4 inch filter. The actual size listed on it. If you ever need to order your own filters online, do not type in this number. You need to type in the actual size, okay? Actual size of this is 19.5 by 24.5 by 3 3/4. If you type in that 20 by 25 by 4, it's probably not gonna fit. This filter is not discolored. It actually comes yellow. I don't make them, I just install them, folks. This is the air intake side. Again, on the opposite side where the air comes out, we've got our wire mesh. So we'll go ahead and pop it back in. Remember, your arrow should be pointing up. I'm sure a lot of you who are homeowners who are watching this struggle putting in your 1-inch filters. 5-inch filters, much easier. And don't need to be done as much. Remember, 6 months to a year is advised on the 5-inch. Your 1-inch every 30 days is advised, but it's all based on runtime. Using just basic calendar days to change your filter, good rule of thumb because it helps you remember, but you have to really zone in on how often you need to change it based on how much your AC is running. So in the summertime, we change filters more often. The wintertime, not as often. Let's move on next to the best filtration system that you don't even need to buy replacement filters for. That's right, it's an electronic washable filtration system. While we're on the topic of filters and black stuff such as that carbon filter they sell, if you pull out your 1-inch filter and you notice it is severely discolored, okay, severely, you're probably burning scented candles and or incense. Big no-no. When I first met my wife, we were big into scented candles. They smell beautiful, they look good. It's nice to have an active flame dancing around. After I started really seeing what they do to air filters, they're all in a closet now. No, I did not get divorced, but she's not happy about it. But once you see these air filters and realize that the cause of that severely dark black discoloration is from physically combusting a material, and that is now in your airstream, you'll realize inhaling the same stuff. So are your kids, so are your pets, so are your guests. So no more scented candles or incense. And no, soy candles did not make it better because they're soy. That you're still burning stuff and inhaling it. So don't do that. So we're up in an attic, nice conditioned attic, and we went with the electronic Trane Clean Effects filtration system. It is literally the best filtration system. If you've watched my other video, a clogged drain line is our #1 service call here in Florida. That can often lead to water overflowing the pan and dripping down beneath onto the filter. Electronic. We don't want that happening. So we don't install these underneath vertical air handlers, only off to the side if we can, or in horizontal applications. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're going to power down our Trane Clean Effects filtration. Hold down the power button. It's got nice indicator lights that actually tell you how clean the filter is and how often it needs to be changed. Now that the power is off, we'll go ahead, unplug a small cord down here. Now I will say this is kind of a tight spot. This is a water heater that the camera's resting on. Not a lot of space here, but it works. 2 tabs, twist 90 degrees, the door hinges out and then comes right off. Okay, and this is the Trane Clean Effects filtration system. All right, this stuff, this filtration system actually cleans up to 100 times more particulate than a standard 1-inch filter and up to 10 times more particulate than a 5-inch pleated media filter. And it can capture particulate all the way to 0.1 micron size. It's got 3 separate sections in here. First is your pre-filter. So as the air comes in, it's gonna go through this electrostatically charged filter. As the air passes over it, it actually creates a static charge, which grabs a great amount of dust. And you can even see It's pretty fine particulate on there. So this can be washed with water or a vacuum cleaner. Water works best, but remember, gotta make sure it's dry before you put it back in and start it up. It is an electronic filtration system. All right, next, after we capture all the large particulate and some of the good small stuff, we have our Corona field. So what this does is it actually has two different fields. You have this large field with the holes cut out in it, and then in the middle of each hole, you probably can't see it, but there are these little pins. And so that Corona field actually puts a charge through this circumference of this into that pin and charges the air. Now that is very, very important, because what comes next captures all of that particulate that's been charged. This is your honeycomb filter. This is oppositely charged the air particulate that's going through that Corona field. And so anything that goes through that Corona field and is charged one way, whether it be positive or negative, it is then stuck inside of these. That's a bunch of little holes inside there. You can see the light passing through, okay? And these things are about 3 inches deep, I'd say. And they will capture literally everything. I mean, even bacteria, viruses are neutralized, and when they stick together, they are captured through this. So you're talking actual indoor air quality versus just protecting your coil here, okay? These need to be vacuumed out or blown out with compressed air. Some of them, and there are only specific models, and you'd have to follow the instructions that came with it, can actually be washed with water. But I'm telling you right now, it takes about 4 hours to dry these things out completely. If you put them back in there wet, it's going to ground itself or short out, and you'll need a new one, okay? So they're not cheap, but again, it's washable, so you never need to buy replacements, as long as you don't break it, okay? They also come with a 10-year part warranty from Trane, so anything that does fail within that 10 years is easily replaced at little to no cost. Okay, so we're going to put all this back together. I'm going to show you this. As you can see, airflow that way. This is the only electronic filtration system we believe in. Other dealers, other manufacturers, they may have something similar. They may even have a 1-inch version of electronic filtration. We do not think that that holds a candle to this one, nor do we think that they are acceptable as far as the static pressure. The restriction they actually create is too much for the systems that we've found. As you see, they've broken this one down into 3 different parts. It's a big filtration system, but it does its job, and it does it very well, and it's reliable. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the box below. I'd love to hear it. I love the interactions I've been getting off the last couple of videos, so please keep them coming. Thank you for watching. Jacob with Wilman Air. Y'all have a great summer. Stay blessed.